My name is Alan Helton, and I'm an ecosystem engineer at Momento.
I'm Jessica Powell. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Audioshake.
Well, thank you for joining me today, Jessica. I'm really excited to have you here. Welcome to BuffCon.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. What are you looking forward to most about today and tomorrow?
Well, most of the presentations and keynotes and everything here are very, very focused on video, which we interact a ton with, but I haven't actually been at a conference that is so focused on video. So I feel like I'm going to end up learning a lot about just the workflows there and the different people leading the teams on engineering side.
It's exciting because you really focus on audio, right? And you're giving a session today. Is that what your session is about?
Yeah, I'm like the weird audio person that's popping up to tell everyone that, remind everyone that's like, video has audio. Yeah.
I think that means everyone's going to pay specific attention.
Let's hope so. Yes.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So tell me more about what your session is about.
Sure. So what we do at Audioshake is we separate audio into its different component parts. You would call them streams or stems, in order to make audio usable, essentially. And that can be in the most human creative workflows through to, ML workflows or at scale, large video media workflows. But you're trying to make audio essentially editable, accessible, things that even work within like programming environments.
I remember when I was in high school and I was learning about audio things, it was always so difficult for me. And I always thought that audio separation just kind of worked and was a thing. This is definitely not the case. Not the case. I'm really excited about the types of things that you're doing. And
I'm fascinated that you were in high school and you were looking at a waveform and you were like, that seems easy to separate.
Well, it was more of an assumption. I should be able, if there's two people talking on the same waveform, I should be able to extract me versus you.
Right.
Back when I was in high school, but that was not a situation at all.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear from you. What are some specific workflows that Audioshake handles that like traditional audio software doesn't really do so well?
Right. I mean, what we're able to do is essentially understand the different qualities of different kinds of sound, to the degree that even when there's overlap in those frequencies, we're able to disentangle them. So that could be, if you're thinking about music, piano and guitar sometimes can sound very similar. If it's your voice and my voice, a little bit easier to tell the difference. But if it was your brother's voice and your voice, that's a little bit harder. We're still able to basically disentangle these sounds and separate them. When we think about some of the M&E workflows that we get pulled into a lot, there's a lot around being able to make audio intelligible. So if you think of a sports stadium, for example, you have it's really complicated, right? It's a really noisy environment. You have crowd noise, you have commentators, and individual speakers, and you may also have music in the background, and that music may also have someone singing. So all kinds of different voiced input. Well, we can separate all of that, and you can then use that for everything from making the speakers more intelligible. It could be players on the field. It could be getting rid of music, right? Get rid of, say, commercial music that you don't have the rights to show. Or it could be, boosting or lowering crowd noise. Sometimes you want that to be really, really loud. Other times you don't. Or think of just like a live, if you've ever been to a live event, a live music event, the way you want to experience that audio in person, if you actually experience it that way over a stream, it's kind of terrible because there's things you do in venue, for example, like turning up the bass, that once it's streamed, it doesn't have the same impact. It could actually be kind of annoying for viewers. So we're just making it really easy for people to have more control over audio.
The way you're describing everything, it sounds to me like every crime scene show that I've ever watched, where there's the really smart computer guy that's like, well, let me separate the audio tracks. And
he's always very fast. He's programmed super, yeah.
And he's like, well, let me boost up this track. So that's more or less like what the kind of things that you're actually making accessible right now.
We all we did was hire the CSI team, and yeah.
That's awesome. And so where do you see AI audio separation going in the future?
I mean, I think if you can separate all audio, you can really just make audio a much better experience across the board for people. And that can range from things that are nice to haves, for example, a better experience of media and so forth, through to things that are pretty game changing for people. If you think about accessibility, or if you think about how you experience sound in a noisy bar, or how someone who might have some kind of hearing device, the different things that they are fighting or that that device is fighting to be able to understand what's happening in the environment. So everything from like ultra low latency workflows through to the most handcrafted, creative media experiences. I think it just can change. People can just create and experience audio in a far more diverse way.
That I hadn't thought about it like that. It's just so fascinating.
Are you ready to leave video?
Like, am I ready to leave video? Yeah. Yes. It's like I have to like the funny use case I thought was, my wife says she talks a lot at home and I don't hear it most of the time because I think that's what happens when you get married is husbands just kind of turn off their wife's voice in their head.
We don't want to edit this.
Yes. Yeah, I've always thought you would continue now. Uh, so, so let me ask you.
Yeah.
I like to ask this to everybody that I talk to. Do you have any hot takes on anything?
On anything. I do. All right. So I feel like if I open LinkedIn or social or something like that, half of my feed is all about NCP and agentic, and everyone's going on and on about this stuff. And the thing that is wild to me is no one talks, or at least I'm not seeing in my feed, which maybe says a lot about my friends. No one is talking about the permissions level of that kind of stuff and the privacy implications of what happens when you give agents control and the ability to do some wildly useful things, right? But if I want something to call, look at my calendar, make a reservation, make the payment, do all those things that are so tedious and that I would love to outsource to an agent, it's incredibly invasive, the kind of information they have to access. And there are actually extremely few companies in the world that I would trust. And even then I have questions about it that I would trust that level of access to. And instead there's just so much breathless hype around agentic that like, I feel like that is a massive, massive question that just isn't getting raised in as public a way.
So what's the hot take?
The hot take is, what is the hot take? What is the hot take?
I agree with you completely.
The hot take is the hot take is I think agentic right now is in a very hypey phase where not all the practical implications of what that means have fully been considered. Does that work for a hot take?
That works for me.
All right.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's everything that we have. So I appreciate the time very much and look forward to hearing you talk later.
Thank you.